Hey there guys, hope it's going good for today. In today's video, I'm talking about extra synergies with Arbour. Alright, so we're talking about extra synergies with Arbour. Now, if you're not too familiar with it, I'll definitely have it on screen, but at least anyway, let me discuss what this card does. This is a creature and a forest land, essentially. So it comes into the battlefield, it has summoning sickness. So it can't tap for mana on the first turn that you play it. But it is a creature and it is a land at the same time, so it will count for landfall and things like that. So there are lots of synergies, and I know CDH players and more experienced players and more knowledgeable players will know several of these synergies and whatnot, but newer and younger or less experienced players probably won't know some of these synergies that you can do. So what you can do, since it is a forest, you can search it up with anything like a fetch land, like breeding pool, let's say, and put it onto the battlefield untapped for 1 life. So you can search it up like that. You can search it up with things like Nature's Law or 3 visits as well, which is another way to get another ramp creature as well as a land. Also, you can get it with Wood Elves and Yavimaya Dryad. So both of those are really good effects as well. They're not quite probably as good as like what Nature's Law and 3 visits are, but still that's a really good effect. Like Yavimaya Dryad brings it into the battlefield tap, but it's summoning 6, so it can't tap for mana that turn probably anyway. But it's another way to get a mana dork and tutor it onto your battlefield, which is a really powerful effect sometimes. And having that extra ramp and that extra body sometimes can be really useful, especially with fetch lands. A lot of people, when they sometimes might have to sacrifice a creature and perhaps they've only got 1 creature, will have kept a fetch land lying around and will fetch to find this and then put it onto the battlefield and then sack it because it is a creature, rather than having to sacrifice their 1 real like payoff win condition creature or whatever that they don't want to lose. They'd rather just lose 1 life and a land in their deck. So there are all sorts of little synergies and hairpin things that you can do with it, like that. And I know, again, like many newer, older players would know these, but newer players wouldn't. So I hope that this is helpful to some people, and even some of these, like maybe you didn't realize or didn't think of, or perhaps or whatnot, or you kind of know that they're there, but you don't really consider it that much because it's not the best thing or whatnot to maybe do sometimes. But it is useful in some games and whatnot, to be able to realize, hey, you know what? I can actually get my Arbour if I have it in my deck with this. So that can be very useful. I'm starting to think that I might start putting Arbour in more of my decks because it's a really powerful and unique card. And it's one of those things that it can come in very useful in a lot of circumstances, because it is a creature and it is a land at the same time. It's one of those things that you will often see out there in the world of Commander that is quite useful. It's a free attacker sometimes, or it's a free chump blocker sometimes. You can do all kinds of things with it. So there's heaps of other little synergies that you can work your deck around, and the cost is maybe taking out 1 forest, and now you have another mana dork in your deck that you can tutor for with other effects. So I think that's really a great effect that more people should realize has more potential in their decks. I have recently realized how much more potential it sort of has, more than just, oh yeah, I can get it with a fetch, but I can actually get it with like Nature's Law, 3 visits, Yavimaya Dryad, and Wood Elves. Wow, that's a lot more as well. So there's a lot more other things that you can do with it. I think whatever the land card is, Croson Verge, that can actually get it as well. That's another sort of fetch land, but it comes in tapped, and you have to pay 2 to crack it, and you can get a plains and a forest card. So you can get this with it as well as a plains. I don't think there's any plains creatures, but there are some interesting other planes that are out there, especially the ones from Eldraine and things like that. So there are some interesting ones. Not that the planes from that set is that good, but there are some other cards out there that are designated as planes and whatnot. So there are other synergies out there that all of these cards can, reflect around. So I really think we should take more of a look at some of these cards, guys. So, there's other synergies out there that we can be, utilizing to make our decks just that little bit better sometimes. So anyway, guys, I do hope that this has been somewhat helpful to you. You can tell me if it was. Write your thoughts down there in the comments below. I'll be sure to try to respond to all the comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys, talking about all the geeky EDH things that we all love here. And yeah, I'll see you down there in the comments below, or I'll see you in the next one. Hey, you've just finished watching one of our videos. A bunch of other videos are popping up on your screen now for you to check out, so why not check them out?